Good morning to you. This is Brad, and it is about 6:40, I think, on this is a Thursday morning, and I'm out in the garage. So if I sound a little stuffed up, I probably sound as normal like I always do. But if I'm stuffed up, it's because I'm in the garage of our house here in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, USA. And may I say, first of all, man, was it awesome last night in our Bible study? We had an online Facebook Live Bible study, and we had people that were coming in and watching the broadcast from Virginia, from Maryland, New York, Georgia, different places in Tennessee, and even in South Korea. So thank you so much. That was fun. We're going to do it next week, Wednesday night, online at 7 o'clock. But why am I here in the garage today? What's my point? Why am I talking to you in the garage? Well, here's the thing. I have all this real cool stuff. I've got anything from wasp killer to different electrical devices to light bulbs out here, WD-40, which is the joy of every man in America, along with weed killer and oil power steering fluid and all this kind of stuff out here. And I have it all on shelves. It's all over the place here. And so I like coming out here and getting these things and using them. Now, here's the point. I could get this stuff from Home Depot, Ace Hardware, different places like that, and just stack them on the shelves and be very content with just sitting here and looking at them and being nice, because after all, this is like a man cave, a garage is. But my wife says, listen, there are wasps outside. You really need to take care of this. Well, I'll get there. There's power steering needed for the van. I'll get around to it, but, and I never do it. What I do is I keep playing around with all the stuff, and I never really get to the main reason why this stuff is here, to take care of the household and to take care of the transportation around here. Mark chapter 12, I'm going to really, really push in for us to look at something when we talk about the Christian life. The story Jesus tells is not about the kingdom of heaven. It's the only parable in Mark 12 which does not deal with the kingdom of heaven. This is a parable of judgment. He says a man goes out and he makes a vineyard. He creates a successful vineyard, and then he rents it out. And he goes on a long trip. And so the people that are renting it out, like tenant farmers, are renting it out. After a while, he comes back from the trip and he sends his servants out to collect his share of the crop, his rent. Well, in the Greek, it says the first one they punched around. The first servant they punched around. He goes back, unsuccessful. The second one, the Greek says, they actually walloped him in the head. They actually injured his head. Well, it goes through and says, well, I'll send my son. They're going to, they will honor him. Well, what they do is they kill him. Now, the listeners to Jesus are highly upset. Jesus says, what would you do? You know the story. The parallel, obviously the symbolism is this. God the Father is the creator of the vineyard. The ones he sends out to the world, to the people that are working the farm, who have control of the farm. Those would be the religious leaders. Those would be the ones that, spiritual leaders. He sends out the prophets. Through the Bible, you see the prophets. Those are the ones. And of course, we know that they injured the prophets and killed them. Isaiah was sawn in half. Amos ran for his life. Ezekiel, I believe, was murdered by a man offended by his judgment. Zechariah was actually killed while in the temple. They were sent out. Who's the beloved son? It's obviously Jesus. Now, when he's sent out, the death of him was because, follow the story now, they said, if we kill him, we'll keep the farm. We'll keep the vineyard. We'll keep the inheritance. And those what the leaders were saying at that day. If we kill Jesus, we'll keep the religious system to ourselves. We'll keep what we're comfortable with. Now, I'm going to present this to us Christians here, and I'm not stretching it too far, and I'm staying within the doctrine. But Christians, how can this apply to us? Here's what we do. We have our garage, our life, and we have all the things that we really like to do. And they are intended for us to honor Christ and follow God. But a lot of times we just like moving them around, and we kind of like playing with the things. And the busyness of being Christians, it's very socially active. It's fun. The music's great. The food's really good too. Stuff like that. We just like doing things. But then when the call comes out from our leaders, follow Christ, honor him, reach out, sacrifice if necessary. Well, no, we're doing things. Isn't that good enough? And I'm not going to go ahead and say we kill Jesus, but don't we push him away because it's like this. We really like what we're doing. We like keeping it this way. And so don't get radical with us, Father, or tenant owner, or landowner. We kind of like staying with this, and we'd like to keep it to ourselves. So we're not killing the Son. We're just shoving him away. We want things the way we want. We want to be in control of our own spiritual and religious walk. Now, there's a ton we can say, but we only have a short time. Here's what happened historically. When Jesus said, "This is coming out on you, religious leaders," we know in 70 AD, Rome came through, and in going down and totally wasting Jerusalem, on the way, if I have the numbers correct, it's like 935 villages were also wiped out by Rome. All these little villages all the way around, and many were innocent people, and a lot of small villages were taken away. Well, that's like this. Are we going to have these things taken away? We have our 935 little innocent things, which are honestly, might be some fun things in themselves, but we've taken them and we've been selfish with them. You think that God might slowly start taking these away from us, the joys and things, because we're using them for our own purpose and not for the glory of God. I'm not making this some judgmental, horrific thing about God, but listen. So many times you and I have seen people with wonderful talents that have gone to waste as Christians because it has been to selfish endeavors. I want you to think today, because I'm running out of time, I want you to think, are you caught up in the busyness of stacking things, or are you using the various components in your life, the various talents in your life, the free time, the leisure time, the wonderful time, the reading ability, the different talents you have, all for the glory of God? And then let him build. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness. All these things will be added unto you. Think about that. We can talk some more. Thank you so much for listening. I got to get going, and this garage is cold right now, so I'm going to get going. But God bless you, and we will talk later on, God willing, tomorrow morning. Thank you. This is Brad from Oak Ridge, Tennessee. Please share these videos if it can help anybody that you know. All right? Bye now.